Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2017 Invent Idaho State Finals. Give yourselves a round of applause. And kids, I would like you, young inventors, reach around and pat yourselves on the back because you are inventors. I am so incredibly proud of you. Now, kids, young inventors, would you give your parents a round of applause for bringing you here? And you wouldn't be here without their loving support. So thank you, parents, for supporting your child in this endeavor. I am so excited to be here and to be celebrating creativity, because that's exactly what this is. It's a celebration of creativity. So young inventors, whether you are on this stage today or not, is not the important part. The important part is that you are changing your world. You are creative problem solvers. You're out there finding real world problems. Even as young as first graders, you are doing what needs to be done for our world. And that's very, very exciting. So thank you, young inventors. I am so proud of you all. I want you to go out of here with the mindset of, I am an inventor. Young inventors, would you all say that with me, please? I am an inventor. So that is very, very cool. And I want you to always remember that. And I'd like to start with a few announcements, and then we'll introduce some VIPs, very important people, and we will get into the keynote speech in just a few moments. First of all, parents, I just wanted to let you know that patent law in the U.S. has changed in the last few years, and that it is now a race to the patent office. So if you display your child's invention in public, it is possible for someone to borrow that idea and go to the patent office first. So I would encourage you, if you have something that's a viable product, you might consider going to the U.S. Patent Office website and check out provisional patents. That gives you a little bit of protection, okay? What we are about today is the process. Yes, the ribbons and the plaques and the awards are exciting, but it's all about the process of becoming an inventor, learning how to solve real-world problems. So I want you to keep that in mind, that as fun as the ribbons are and the fun that you had out there, it's all about becoming a real-world problem solver. So thank you for taking that journey with us. I'd like to take a moment, if you would please rise, and we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance together. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We live in a great nation. I think it's important to celebrate that fact as well. At this time, I'd like to celebrate and tremendously thank many of our, we have so many wonderful sponsors. And this event would not happen without them. And so first of all, I'd like to thank and recognize the STEM Action Center. And Stephanie Lee is here representing the STEM Action Center from Boise. Thank you. And thank you to all those legislators who chose to fund the STEM Action Center so that they could become a partner and supporter of Invent Idaho. In fact, the STEM Action Center is funding $1,000 scholarships for 10 of you to go to nationals. And they sponsored several of you to travel here. So a huge round of applause again. STEM Action Center sending some of you to nationals. I'd like to thank Dr. Lorna and Paul Finman of LCF, STEM Bus, and STEM Revolution for providing the EV3 robotics for our Best of Show winners. So thank you to STEM Bus Revolution. Another of our awards will be For best of category, they will receive the Ozobots. Ozobots are little tiny robots, so you're going to get a great dose of science and technology here today. And a huge round of applause for one of our other sponsors. Can't do it without them. You met them out there. Brett and Susan Summer of Fig Pickles Toy Emporium provided the first place. Great awards. A thank you to Randall Danskin Attorneys. They are providing free patent searches for the 2 Best of Show winners. A patent search, for real one, is somewhere around, I think, $5,000 to $8,000 worth of value. So a huge thank you to them. That will be to the 2 Best of Show winners. So thank you, Randall. A special thank you to my husband and happy birthday. I can't do it without him and my son, Blake. Thank you very much. The Jump Center of Boise is a great host. Silver Lake Mall is a great host for our regional. And isn't this University of Idaho a fantastic venue for the state finals? Give the University of Idaho a huge round of applause and thank you. Micron Foundation is also a supporter and advocate for Invent Idaho. And Micron is providing 5 $500 scholarships for several students, 5 students, to go on to nationals. And there will be 15 students going to nationals, 10 of them sponsored by the STEM Action Center and 5 by Micron. So thanks to both of them. And a huge thanks to the Jecker Family Trust, as well as Rathdrum Power. So thank you to all of our sponsors. Some of you may have seen the information about the iCubed Challenge. iCubed stands for Inspire, Ignite, Invent. It is a national competition of which Invent Idaho, Invent Washington, the various states are a part, and that is an online submission. The theme changes every year. If you have an invention that has anything to do with this year's theme, 2017, transportation, you can pick up a flyer and enter online. So that's the iCubed Challenge. We do have a special award that we'll announce a little bit later. It's a $1,000 scholarship thanks to the University of Idaho College of Engineering. And that will go to one special inventor of any age. Okay? So I love the University of Idaho's vision of nurturing STEM in our youngest children. So that scholarship from the College of Engineering can go to any age. In addition, again, the College of Engineering and the University of Idaho will be inviting several of you back to pitch your inventions at their annual expo. Expo, we had, I believe, 6 or 7 young inventors from Invent Idaho, so as young as like 3rd or 4th grade, mixed in with the College of Engineering senior engineering design projects. And so some of you will be invited back to Expo, and there will be more details coming about that. I would like to have a meeting, please, right up front here afterwards with the 15 National Invention Convention winners so that we can talk a little bit. And this is an important part of this. 1st and 2nd graders, if you win today, best of show, best of category, 1st, 2nd, or 3rd place, if you're in 1st or 2nd grade, you are invited to enter the National Invention Convention online. 1st and 2nd graders don't go to nationals, but they are all allowed, if you place, to go online and enter. So there's information about that too. Let me see. State winners. If you cross this stage today, you are a state winner. And that is incredibly, that's something to be very proud of. There are thousands of young inventors across the state who have had ideas, but you made it this far. So you should be very, very proud of yourselves. If you are a state winner, you are invited to the Invent Idaho Day at the state capitol in Boise, Idaho on March 13th. That's a Monday. And many of our legislators will be there. It's free to the first 25 students who register online. And as you walk off stage today, you'll receive a flyer about that. So that's free to the first 25 to attend Capitol Day. Several years ago, the legislature, and you might have seen the proclamation back there, they proclaimed a day in March to be Invent Idaho Day in the state of Idaho. So that's pretty cool. They are celebrating you, young inventors. Give yourselves another round of applause. We have a brand new high school category, and several young inventors in grades 9 through 12 are here this year. We will have a high school grand champion that we will be recognizing in a little while. And I'd like to have you 8th graders in here know that you're not done. You could keep inventing for years to come, and go back and invite your friends. If they're in high school, say, hey, check it out. Looks really good on a college resume application if you have won Invent Idaho State. At this time, I'd like to take a moment to introduce several of our VIPs, very important people. And I'd like to start with the president of the University of Idaho, because this is such an incredible venue and wonderful facility and home for Invent Idaho. So would you give a warm welcome, please, to President Staben, and thank you.
Very much, but I think all the important people are out in the audience, actually. But it is great to be here with you, and we are very privileged to host all of you for this finals. We're apparently one of only 4 universities in the United States that actually host the finals of the state Invent Idaho, Invent Oklahoma competition. We're very pleased to do this. We think that invention, that innovation, that creativity are critically important to the future, and so we are very pleased to host this on behalf of the state. Inventions can come from anywhere. Has anybody in the audience ever watched television? Few people have watched television, and it, in some ways, has changed our lives. And now, the inventor for that, you may or may not realize, he was not born in Idaho. He was born in Utah, but he grew up in Rigby, Idaho. And in fact, the first drawings that were actually used in his patent work were on a high school blackboard in Rigby, Idaho. And so what you're doing today could show up in a world-changing patent. At Expo last year, we were very fortunate to have one of our graduates come back and tell us a little bit about some of his invention work, and you may have seen some of that as well. One of our graduates is a guy named Tom Mueller. He's the chief engineer for SpaceX. Anybody see the SpaceX rocket takeoff and landing recently? Pretty cool. So Tom's from St. Mary's, Idaho, a little bit far from Rigby, but pretty close to here, and a great guy. Think about rockets. Pretty simple idea, actually, that rockets are the only form of transportation that's disposable, and that seems silly. You don't drive your car to the store and just leave it and just dispose of it. So Tom's big idea was pretty simple, well, rockets would be a lot cheaper to run if you reuse them. So you need to put them up in space or towards space and then bring them back down and land them ready to go on another trip. And you'll radically change the cost of space transportation, which is exactly what the mission of SpaceX is. Those are the kinds of ideas that really can change the world, and I'm sure there are some ideas like that out in the crowd. And I just want to say how proud we are at the University of Idaho to host those ideas, and hopefully to host some of you as students a little bit later in your lives. Will you come back here and learn from our great faculty and have a wonderful experience here. So thanks very much for coming to campus to visit us today. Thank you.
And our next VIP, I am incredibly impressed every time I meet this gentleman, and am so pleased with his passion for STEM education. And I would like to have a huge round of applause for our advocate, Senator Bob Nonini. Thank you.
I'll be extremely brief because I know you didn't come to listen to some politicians speak, but somebody who we haven't thanked yet is Beth Brubaker. So I think we ought to hear it from Beth Brubaker. In my time in the legislature, this has become a passion for me. These young people that have created these inventions and have these ideas are our future. And at some point in the not too distant future, they'll be wearing these name tags, and they'll be the senators and the representatives and the people leading this country. And things are changing so fast since I was a young boy with the technology aspects out there. And I applaud you parents for being so involved with your children's future and what they want to do, and for you students working so hard. And I would be remiss if I didn't introduce my wife, who's with me today. Kathy Ann drove down with me, and I had choices today. I could be at a town hall meeting in Coeur d'Alene with a bunch of crazy people talking about crazy things, or I could be down here with a room full of people with their students, their children, that are going to be the future of this country. So it wasn't a tough decision for Kathy Ann and I to make. We decided we were coming to Moscow to participate. So Beth, thank you for the invitation. Parents, thank you for being so supportive of your children. And children, thank you for what you've done. Thank you.
And you can tell the excitement about STEM education and Invent Idaho that Senator Nonini has. We'd also like to recognize a VIP from District 5. This is Representative Jordan, and I'm thrilled that she is here. She'll say a few words for you, to you, with you. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you, Beth. It's really such a privilege to be here now representing our district, which includes Benoit and Latah County for District 5. I have the good privilege of serving with Senator Nonini, who is a great champion for education, and really that's what it's all about. When I came down this morning, I brought my nieces and nephews and my 2 sons. In fact, my younger son is in the back there. And the majority of his life, he said he's always wanted to be an astronaut. Never changed. And I really love that about my son because he's committing to something, and it's really about learning. And I says, you know, if you really do want to become an astronaut or an astrophysicist, whatever it may be, even a pilot someday, you really need to focus on your math, science. And on top of that, while you need to know all these critical skills and functions, you have to be able to portray your ideas and your thoughts. So you have to learn how to communicate, how to talk to others, how to express those great ideas that you have in your mind. So I would just like to talk to our young people and let you know that if you have an opportunity to shake the adults in the room's hands and go up to Beth and let her know that you appreciate what she's doing, or talk to your fellow students, share your ideas, because I'm walking around looking at all your displays and they are extremely impressive, and I love them all. And I can't wait to see many of them come to fruition, because they will make my life a lot easier and all of our lives in this room a lot easier. So if we can just open ourselves up, share your ideas, talk to these adults, ask questions if you can. Really, it just comes down to how you're able to express yourself. I tell children too that it's really good to practice your reading. So my younger guy, he comes to me and says, Mommy, we have to read for 30 minutes. Do I have to? I look at him and I say, come on now. I know you love to read, and he's a good reader, by the way. He just wants to cut corners sometimes. But I said, it's good. We'll practice, we'll read together, and he'll pick his favorite book out. He'll read this for a good 30 minutes, and then when he's done, poof, go back to doing what you want to do, go play outside. But it's good, and I tell him the reason why we do this is because you have to train your mind, be up on your reading skills, and then you get to follow up with your writing skills. But you have to have these fundamentals so that you can continue to progress in all these other areas that will help you succeed. You have to build up this strong foundation. So all you young people, I just want to thank you for doing this, for being here, for taking this time to come up with these great ideas. They're fabulous. So keep it up. As your representative, I'm just here to try to do my job, which is to help others believe in education, to support you, because you are the future. So you're going to help us create a better world, correct? Yeah? Thank you so much. And again, thank Mrs. Brubaker, because she's a wonderful person for doing this. I'd like to thank the president of the University of Idaho for being here and just extending this support base for us to have this as a home. And for all the parents, really, thank you for taking the time to read with your children, to encourage them to be here, to set this up. And I know as a mother what it takes to do this. But it's a good process, and I hope to see my son, like all of our children in this room, become the next great leaders, the next great astronauts, flying us around the world someday, or maybe even exploring other planets. As we now know, there are apparently 6 to 7 new ones that we can live on, so who knows, someday. But thank you all for being here.
Our representatives and senators are so incredibly busy. I appreciate them tremendously taking time out of their busy schedule to be here. So thank you once again. At this time, I'd like to introduce our regional coordinators. Tammy Cass is not here today, North Idaho Regional, but we do have 2 of our regional coordinators here, and they're going to wave to you right now. Stephanie Lee from Southwestern Boise area. So Stephanie, thank you for being here. And Debbie Cochran from Southeastern. She is your regional coordinator from Southeastern. And this is a perfect time. Many of you voted for the teacher who inspired you to invent. You put names in a jar back there, and we have a winner of that award, and that is Betty Turner from Collister and Boise. So give Betty a huge round of applause. And accepting on her behalf is Stephanie Lee. And if you haven't seen this yet, this is the book that the first place winners will receive. And this is courtesy of Fig Pickles. What do you do with an idea? So what a perfect gift for teachers. So thank the teacher that inspired you when you go back to school. A couple last quick announcements, because I know you're ready to get on with our favorite MC, and I'll share that in a few moments. Right after this event, if you're not driving back in a blizzard, and if you do, please be careful, the Northern Idaho Science and Engineering Fair will take place today, is taking place today, and will be open to the public, so that's you guys, from 2 till 5 p.m. with the awards at 5. The projects will be set up on the 4th floor of the Idaho Commons building in the Summit Conference space. So if you haven't had enough STEM today with inventions, definitely go over and visit. That's sponsored by the STEM Action Center as well. And a quick note, you can pick up your judging forms back at the registration table. There will be 4 lines, I believe. Just bring that little number with you so that you get the right judging form after the ice cream social or after this event. The Best of Show winners, thank you so much, all of you, for coming, whether you're best of show, whether you're best of category, whether you are on this stage or not today. I want you to know that I am very proud of you and incredibly impressed. The judges spent hours and hours. I couldn't make them leave last night. They were debating and discussing and excited about the ideas. And those are college professors among them. And so they were very impressed with, I think we all left knowing that our world is in good hands. Our future with you all is in very, very good hands. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Brett and Susan Summer from Fig Pickles Toy Emporium. They are a wonderful supporter of Invent Idaho, and they graciously donated 10% of your purchases out there at their tables to Invent Idaho. So we appreciate them, and they have a special award.
Thank you, Beth. It's a pleasure, as always, to be here. We'll make this quick. I know you guys want to get on. We have a special award in the game category. We judge the games. And this category, the reason we have a special award is because we take the game that is easiest to learn, that the most people can play, that any age group can play, and the one that could go to market the quickest. If we took that game and spent 6 weeks, we could have it in the store. And so...
Oh, our winner
the winner is.
Oh, I have, okay. Oh, I have it written down. Oh, I forgot. This is like the Academy Awards. Okay. But ours is right. Okay.
Price Waterhouse.
Yeah. Logan Crawford for his game invention called Gravity Race. And if you haven't played it, I hope you'll play it.
Go over and play it. It is a blast. And the other thing is, the other day, you guys, one of the mega toy companies, Ty, was in our store, and they make Beanie Babies, you know, $1 billion company. And we told them about Invent Idaho, and they were so taken by what we were doing this weekend that they said, hey, I have something out in my car. We want to donate to Invent Idaho. And so they went out and got us this. So this is it too. You get
it's an
this too.
add-on. And
All right,
our game, yeah.
Is Logan here?
Is Logan here? Okay.
Oh.
We will make sure this gets shipped to Logan. We just need all his information, and we will make sure he gets
Okay.
this.
And thank you, everybody.
Okay,
Come see us.
The passion and excitement and enthusiasm that Brett and Susan have for life is contagious. And I can't thank them enough for being here and entertaining all of you. At this time, I'd like to introduce Blake Alfson. Blake is an actor, engineer, mechanical engineer, and aerospace engineer. And he will be introducing our keynote as well as waking you up a little bit. So before we have Blake, or as Blake is coming up, let's take a moment and would you all stand and get the wiggles out? Go ahead, stand, stretch a moment. Blake on his way up here. Alrighty, I'll finish. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, Blake is not only an engineer, but he also works for a 3D printing company called Continuous Composites. And they are doing cutting edge, revolutionary kinds of technology. And so Blake is going to introduce our keynote speaker, and be prepared to be delighted. You're going to have a wonderful adventure.
Hey, kids. Tired of your parents always interfering with your social life? Do you wish they'd give you less chores so you had more time to play? Well, you need the Parent Pauser. Simply press the button on the remote control and presto, your parents are on pause. Now you can go to the mall, play video games, chat with your friends for hours. Simply press play when you're done and bingo, your parents will never know you are gone. Press the fast forward button and speed your way to the weekend. But wait, there's more. Order your Parent Pauser now and receive a Teacher Pauser mini remote, a $39.99 value, absolutely free. Pause your teacher while you text message your friends, or fast forward through boring lectures. Call 1-800-STOP-PARENT now to be the hit of the party with your very own Parent Pauser. Pause time may vary depending on age and health of parent. If you experience a pause lasting more than 4 hours, seek medical attention immediately. Not responsible for permanently paused parents. Batteries not included. Sounds like a pretty exciting product, right? This is just one of the many inventions similar to the stuff that you would have seen if you're looking around today, and it is just incredible to see all of the amazing inventions. But I'm not the reason that y'all are here and listening. So allow me to introduce you to our keynote speaker, Gray Bright. Gray is the host of a live late-night talk show for science and technology, The Tomorrow Show. He's a robotic engineer by education and has manufactured over 1,500 consumer electronic products, has worked for will.i.am, and is currently working for one of Google's advertising agencies. Gray has also performed stand-up comedy across the world from iconic venues and events such as the Hollywood Improv and the International Comedy Festivals. He's performed with Monty Python at London's O2 Arena in front of 16,000 people, was on the TBS TV show called America's Greatest Makers, and recently performed stand-up comedy during the launch of the space rocket for NASA at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Here's a clip showing some of his work.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh. Thank you very much, and welcome to the late night talk show for science and tech. My name's Gray. We have a massive show for you tonight. It's Maker Fair 2016. You know you love it. Everybody loves it. If you haven't been, get along. Robots, laser, fire. No, you cheeky, cheeky clown. With over 150 million views, Derek Muller.
Sometimes the simplest questions have the most amazing answers.
I was really into science, but I also love filmmaking, and that was kind of my dream, was to make films about science.
You've been to some of the most radioactive places on Earth. Let's take a look at this.
Driving into the Fukushima exclusion zone now.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen from across the globe, to the Kennedy Space Center here at Cape Canaveral, Florida.
T-minus 10, 9.
To launch the rocket, you press on a big red novelty-sized button, just like this one.
3, 2, 1. And liftoff of Noah's GOES Ark, America's most advanced weather eye in the sky.
How did you start this gaming company? Here we are at the 3D printing pancake machine.
So what we see here is a robotic spider dress.
A Megabot is a 15-foot tall, giant fighting robot.
Found a DeLorean and we found the maker.
I studied mechanical engineering with a focus in manufacturing and electronics.
Oh, you good thing.
Engineering's got a branding problem, right? A lot of people think of like pencil ties and lab coats. The reality is it's all much more awesome now. There's lasers and fire and robots and all the sort of big stuff you can make.
I think we're going to see a wonderful two-step here. However, no, he's up on his down. He's fallen on his back. 3D printed. I'm here with Nick from Intel. Walking to the pantry, through the kitchen. Here he goes. No, he's bumped into the fridge and he's fallen over. I'll see you in the future on the next episode of The Tomorrow Show. Good night.
Isn't he great? So please join me in giving a big round of applause to the man who lives 5 minutes in the future, Mr. Gray Bright.
Thank you so much. Thanks, buddy. Hello, everyone. And I'm buying one of those parent pauses. It's happening, it's happening. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an absolute pleasure for me to be here. Today, this speech isn't so much for the parents, this is for the inventors in the room. By round of applause, who here is an inventor? Oh. I'm an inventor as well. I'm just like you guys. The only difference, really, is that I'm older. That's honestly the only difference. I've had the ability to talk to some of you today and find out how you came about some of your inventions. I've made over 1,500 consumer electronic products, and I can tell you the process that you're going through at the moment is identical to how we make products in the real world. A lot of you found dilemmas or moments in your life where something wasn't working the way you wanted it to, or you saw something and you wanted it to be different. That's how we make things everywhere. It's all about inventing. And it doesn't have to be just within electronics or the Jules Verne category where it's very futuristic. It can be something as simple as stopping a spoon from falling into a bowl of cereal, or making sure that old people don't fall over in the snow by putting some grip underneath their feet. All of these inventions start in your mind. When I was a kid, I used to build things. I built a lot of things. I used to also pull things apart. Who here pulls things apart at their house? Yeah. Parents, I want to speak to you guys just for a moment. I know your kids pull things apart, and sometimes they're things that you don't want them to pull apart. Go easy on them if they can't put it back together. There is a time period where I didn't know how to put things back together. I pulled apart a stereo. It was my parents' favorite stereo. They still tell me to this day that I never put it back together. But pulling apart that stereo taught me at that very early age, how does the casing work? I didn't even need to understand the electronics. That was too advanced. But how did the screws hold the casing together? How did the circuit board inside, with all of the little components on it, how did that sit inside and have cables moving around? These were the things that started to educate me. You may often wonder, how do I go from creating something at this level, something of just an early prototype? How do I go from there to something that I see on the shelf? It is a long process, but there's no magic behind it. And there's no one clear way to do it. I'm going to show you some of the prototypes that I've made over the years. Could we pop this up on the screen? Here you can see this. I was probably about 10 to 12 years old, and I'd started getting stuck into electronics. This was an early prototype board where I could plug components into. It had springs and capacitors and resistors, and it taught me how to start building things to make LEDs flash, how to make sounds, how to make a buzzing noise. That progressed along. Now, if you're at a phase where you don't know how that works, jump on YouTube and type in, how does an LED work? Or jump on YouTube and have a search for a question that you don't know how to get to that next phase. If you are at this phase, as some of you are, and you are making things with electronics, we can then move to the next phase. If you have a little circuit board, but you don't know how to mount it on something, mount it on a piece of wood. Things don't need to be made like they're being sold at Best Buy. If it works, it works. So this one was a flashing display that used to spin around. I mounted it on a piece of wood. This is a metal detector. It doesn't look like anything at all. It looks like something just wrapped in foil. All it is loops, then wrapped in our foil, and it worked as a metal detector. These things come about just from crazy ideas. I wanted to find, being from Australia, we've got a lot of beaches. We've got far too many beaches for our own good. We should give Idaho some beaches one day. I would be on the beach constantly losing money, and then I realized if I'm losing money, there's probably other people losing money as well. So I thought if I built a metal detector, I could go along the sand and find, some money. I made the metal detector work. I didn't find any money, but maybe one day. This device here was for my mum, for Mother's Day one year. I wanted to make her a little display that showed her a love heart and then scrolled a little message saying, I love you. It just came about because I wanted to do it, so I built it. As you progress on further and further, you will start seeing products that exist and question, how do they work? One for me was, how do cable boxes work? And the other question was, is there a way to get free cable without paying for it? You will come across things like this. And parents, I want to speak to you again. Yes, this device, when you look at it, it did give me free cable, which may sound a little bad, but it actually came about from wanting to understand how the cable system worked, not for nefarious reasons. And quite often we hear the term hacker used in society at the moment. The term hacker at the moment isn't talking about someone trying to hack in and steal money. At the moment, hacker is really someone who sees a product and thinks to themselves, I want to make that different, or I want to use part of that product in another product. So sometimes when things look like they are for nefarious reasons, quite often they're actually just for learning. The next product here, if you can remember a very old video game called Pong. It was a game where two sticks would go up and down and it would go beep, beep. This game was invented by a man called Nolan Bushnell. He created a company called Atari, and then he went on to found Chuck E. Cheese. Don't know how they went together, but amazing man. He invented that game. I really loved that game, and I thought, you know what? I want to make it. I don't just want to play the game, I want to make the game. And not only that, this was the first time I ever made a circuit board and put the components in a smiley face. And that made me really happy. It's the small things in life. Another product was, who here likes M&Ms or Skittles? They're delicious, aren't they? Aren't they a delicious treat? I like the green M&Ms the best. but I don't like sorting them into different colors. So I created a device that would sort them for me. This product here shines a white light onto the M&M. The light is then reflected off the M&M, and I had a series of sensors that looked for red, green, and blue. Depending on how much light came back from the red, green, and blue, I could tell whether it was a red M&M, an orange M&M, and then over time, I built a little conveyor system so that you could pour M&Ms in the back and they would travel along and get sorted. Quite pointless in the end. Once I built it, I realized I could just do it myself, but it was the building process that was the most fun. Solar-powered plant. This device has two little sensors on either side of its solar panel, and as the sun would rise and set throughout the day, it would try and create equilibrium within its light sensors. So its little light sensors would find the sun, and then it would sit there and follow the sun all day long. Didn't run on batteries. It would still work if I could find where it is. I can't remember where I put it. Little Nixie clock. There was, I believe it was last year or 2 years ago, where there was an issue that had come up at a school where someone had built a clock and it was confused for a different device. It was an interesting time. I put this up to say clocks. There is something about clocks that we inventors just like clocks. We like time travel. We like to do things with it. If you're interested in electronics, timing and clocks will become one of the most important features. So time is very cool. And if anyone knows how to build a time machine, let me know, by the way. I always wanted, I love this product, makes me smile a lot. I always wanted to be on the radio as a kid. I called a couple of radio stations asking if I could be on, and they said, "It is not for you, you're too young. Thank you for the call." So I thought, well, if I can't be on the radio, then I'll just build my own radio station. So this is called Grey FM. You turn it on the left-hand side. It had a volume control, ran on an iPod. The FAA says that you probably shouldn't build these things, but sometimes just build them. I then progressed from Grey FM, and Grey FM was really fun. I would give my friends in the area walkie-talkies, and we would have like request nights, and people could walkie-talkie, and it was really good fun. I highly recommend doing it. But then after time, I thought, well, radio is fun, but I would like to be on TV. So I built this. This is Grey TV. This is one of the most slightly ridiculous. When I say I'm an inventor, people often actually say I'm a mad inventor. I think they're one and the same. I think if you build things, you see the world differently. And so if you find yourself at school thinking that you see the world differently to your friends, that is okay. You will create different things. Sometimes people will say, "What is that for? That serves no purpose." But you know in yourself that it is important. And this one, Grey TV, it took a long time to build. I did learn through this process that broadcasting VHF is really difficult, so it only went about 50 feet. So it was me and my neighbor that could watch Grey TV. And then YouTube came along, and I was like, yay, I can do it anywhere that I like. One of the funnest devices that I've ever built was when I got my first car. There was a racing car game when I was growing up called Daytona USA. And this was a game where you would sit, and when you put your coins in, it would say, "Please select a race course." And you'd go and you'd select the race course on screen. It would then say, "Please choose manual or automatic transmission." And I would always go automatic. Once the game was ready, it would say, "Gentlemen, start your engines. 3, 2, 2, 1, go, go, go." And then the game would start. And the premise of the game was to race around the track in the shortest amount of time. And whenever you went under these big pillars, you would get a thing called time extension. I went to the local arcade, put a recording device next to the machine, played a game, took all of the sound effects out of Daytona USA, built a device and installed it in my car. So when I would open up my car, my entire car would say, "Please select a race course." I would then tell my car that I had to go to uni and we were to take the track to university. It would then say, please start your engines. I would turn the engine on. I also mounted a very, very loud and obscene speaker underneath the bonnet, so that whenever I got to red lights, I could sit there. And I had a very bad car. It was falling apart. Whenever I would get to a red light and there would be other cars around me, I would let all of the cars know through this very loud speaker. 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, go, go, go! And I got beat every single time. I never won a race. But the great thing was, it was taking something from my childhood, something that I was really passionate about, and putting it into the real world. It didn't serve any use apart from making me smile and making my friends think I'm a little weird. But it was so much fun. And then I rewired my e-tag, which is a toll, a little device that sits inside your car so that when you go underneath a toll booth, it goes beep. I rewired mine so that every time I was on the freeway and I went underneath a toll booth, my car would go, time extension! And you had to floor it to the next toll booth. It's really great fun. If anyone wants me to build them one, let me know. I'll make it for you. So, over the years, those are some of the devices that I've created at a prototyping level. As I went through building, I always wanted to be in electronics. So once I finished school, I started working at the equivalent of Best Buy in Australia. I was a salesperson on the floor, selling computers and mobile phones. And at the same time, I started studying robotic and mechatronic engineering. And mechatronics is the combination of electrical and mechanical engineering. It's a really, really, really fun course because you get to build the electronics, but you also fundamentally understand mechanical systems. Really good fun. I highly recommend anyone to do it. So I went through there, and at the end of that course, I was still working at the electronics store. I ended up working at that electronics store for 11 years. That was a long time, but it gave me the opportunity to progress into the position where I was the head of private label. So when we would have a Sony TV in store, I would make a competitive version that was a home brand version of ours. It meant that I made 1,500 consumer electronic products over my time. Got to travel to Asia and across the world. It was really good fun. It also has instilled in me the ability to just make product. And so when I look around some of the products here, I know at the moment you may be thinking, how do I go from a prototype to a finished product? Here's an example of one that me and my friends made. This wasn't done for work. This was me and my friends. If anyone can guess what this is, yell it out. I'll start disassembling it and someone will realize. Selfie stick. That's exactly it. So me and my friends made a selfie stick company because it was 2013 and that's what you do. Now, how we came about with this was we didn't need to invent the product itself. We knew that we liked the product, but we spoke to some factories in China and said to them, how can you make product? We then spoke to some factories in the US and said to them, how can you make this product? We just chatted to some factories, and before you knew it, we had packaging, we had a product, and we had something that was in market. And this was just me and my friends. There was no secret magic there. It was just taking the idea and going through to market. So even at the moment, as you think to yourself, I don't know how to progress to the next stage, in time you will. And if you want to know right now, check out YouTube. There's many good videos on there that'll explain it. So that's sort of the background as to how I've built things. Not only have I built product, but at the same time, I've always had a passion for performing, mainly for performing comedy. While I invented things, I had Monty Python playing on the TV screen constantly. And last year, an opportunity came up through the late night talk show that I host. TBS, a cable channel, said that they were going to be creating a show called America's Greatest Makers. 24 teams of engineers and inventors battling it out for $1 million. I spoke to them because I wanted to host the show, and they told me that there's no host, and that broke my heart. So I said to them, can I be a competitor on it? And they said, all right, you can be a competitor. Can we show the video?
Up next, this world traveler tries to connect with the judges with a tap.
Growing up, I was always making and building inventions. My name is Gray Bright. These days, we spend less and less time with those we care about due to increased work hours, decreased attention spans, and long distance. And that's where Ven comes in, a wearable that lets you reach your favourite person when they're not by your side. Ven is able to transmit a light vibration, warmth, or even a gentle squeeze.
Can I try it, actually?
You please, come on,
All right,
come on.
please.
So how this works is your partner can be anywhere in the world, and you can simply double tap, and that will instantly send a light vibration.
All right, judges, let's vote.
We will be seeing you again.
Congratulations.
Thank you, everybody.
Congratulations.
Very appreciative. So without spoiling the ending, I did get through that round, but I did not win the $1 million. I did not win the $1 million. But the good news for two groups inside here is the team that won the $1 million was a Bluetooth toothbrush. I saw two inventions while walking around that involved similar technology. They got $1 million for that. It was a game that you could brush your teeth. You can take your inventions so far these days. And I wanted to explain in that video the process that we went on how to create that bracelet. It started out prototyping on an Arduino. There was an Arduino down there that I saw connected to a 3 degrees or 2 degrees of freedom robotic arm. We started with a prototype just like that, getting the lights flashing, getting it talking to our mobile phone. We then shrunk it down to a smaller circuit board. So we took this prototype, shrunk it down, tested it again. We then shrunk it down again to our final form, this itsy bitsy size, like that. And then, simultaneously, we started to make different bracelets, different colored ones to try them out, in exactly the same way that you all made a prototype and then you changed it a little bit and then you continued to change it. That's how we did it on the TV show. In the end, we came out with a silver one and a gold one and the little device plugged into the back of it. And that entire process took around 3 months. It was really, really great fun. And once again, you can take your ideas so far. There's no magic behind it. You just have to question and find out the answers. I'll have these sitting at the back of the hall if anyone wants to have a look at them at any time. So I want to say it has been such a pleasure and an honor to come here. I'm based in Los Angeles, and Beth was kind enough to ask me to come along and helped me come out here. I've been blown away at the 134 inventions that I've seen here. And not only that, having a chat to some of you inventors out there has been so much fun because I'm exactly like you. I'm just older. I think the same way you do. I just have different skills. But there was no magic. There was no instantaneous moment. When I needed a question answered, I just went around and found it. I really do hope that you all continue to invent. Making things never ends. My life, I will never stop making. You will never stop questioning, and you will never stop finding new ways to build whatever your mind can create. Thank you so much.
They don't come any better than this. Isn't he amazing? Thank you very, very much. Do you have time, or are we going to need to get you to the airport? No. Let's take a moment. Everybody stand up, get the wiggles out, take 2 seconds, and we are going to jump right into what you are here for, because you are inventors just like Gray. Get the wiggles out, and we are ready to start with the awards. So those who are helping to present, come on up. Blake, do you want to go talk to Gray? Why don't you go talk? Do you need to go out for a few minutes? You killed it. All righty, you're going to run right through those. I'm right here to answer anything that you want to. You did an amazing job. Let me see if there's anything I need to say. So a quick reminder that will have anyone who qualifies for nationals, and we'll announce that at the very end. Please come and see me at the very end, and we're going to work through the various categories. Representative Jordan, if you'd like to come up and shake hands on the far side. Boys and girls, young inventors, when your name is called, you're going to come up on that side by Stephanie and Debbie, and then you're going to get your awards and exit over there. Thank you very much, and we'll turn it over to Gray again.
All right, this is it. The moment is here. We're going to first look at working models, third place, grades 1 to 2. Project number 23, Paisley Masterton with the invention of the trip pillow from STEM Charter Academy. Grades 3 through 4, project number 24, Ronan Padilla with the invention of Lens Saver from the STEM Charter Academy. Congrats. Grades 5 through 6, project number 43, Grace Mertes with the invention of the Batter Be Gone baking sheet from White Pine Elementary. Congratulations. Grades 7 through 8, project number 46, Chania Jordan with the invention of the Horn Helper from the STEM Charter Academy. Congratulations. We'll move into the working models, second place now. Grades 1 to 2, project number 90, Finn Anderson with the invention of the magnetic flag football flags from Roosevelt Elementary. Well done. Good times. Grades 3 through 4, project number 31, Lauren Stevens with the snowplow bike from Skyway Elementary. Grades 5 through 6, project number 44, Ethan Fung with the squeezy handle horn from Valley View Elementary. Good work, buddy. Grades 7 through 8, project number 27, Naomi Francis with the Cozy Saver from Forest Bird Charter School. Congratulations. Now we move to the working models, first place. Grades 1 through 2, project number 67, James Bennett with Pocket Pets from Hawthorne. Grades 3 through 4, project number 49, Jade and Lou Scooter Locker from White Pine Elementary. Grades 5 through 6, project number 135, Addie Parsons with Poultry Angel from Garwood. Grades 7 through 8, project number 131, Avery Denny with the invention of on-point balance assistant from STEM Charter Academy. Who's not here? Not here. We will move on to the she's not here. We will move on to the non-working models, 3rd place. Grades 1 through 2, project number 94, Charles Stone with his invention of Zero from Lamb Christian Academy. Hey, buddy. Congratulations, well done. Grades 3 through 4, project number 78, Miguel Buxton with Night Light Slippers from White Pine. Congratulations. Grades 5 through 6, project number 26, Connor Unrun with iRise from Soren Elementary. Congratulations, well done. For non-working models, 2nd place, grades 1 through 2, project number 32, Clark Massey with the Chaw Chomper from Mullen Trail Elementary. Well done. Grades 3 through 4, project number 14, Connor Swanby with Quinn Holt. They've invented the super compost generator from Winton Elementary. Well done, guys. Grades 5 through 6, project number 52, Dylan Praubo with Kev Carr from Hemingway Elementary School. Well done, Dylan. Grades 7 through 8, project number 122, The inventor is Yukar Stanford with the Remendor from Forest Bird Charter School. Well done. And first place in the non-working models, grades 1 through 2, project number 64, Carter Cook, the poolside people washer from Hawthorne. Yeah. I've been missing out on these high fives the entire time. Yeah, buddy. Grades 3 through 4, project number 83, Rhea Nichols, the invention of Wow Wow Waste Not Want Not Water from Ernest Hemingway Elementary. Not here. Grades 5 through 6, project number 76, Tori Boyer with flash drive naming from STEM Charter Academy. And for the non-working models, first place, grades 7 through 8, project number 59, Faith Broadwater with Founder Bot from STEM Charter Academy. Now we have the best of category for the non-working models. And the winner of the best of category is project number 51, Kai Hatton with Icebox from White Pine Elementary. You still got to give me 5. Yeah. We're going to move on to the gadgets and games third place, grades 1 through 2, project number 97, Joshua Catton, Make It Count Laundry from White Pine Elementary. Yes. Grades 3 through 4, project number 89, Lauren Heiner with Win and Winner Chicken Dinner from Lake Hazel Centre. Grades 5 through 6, project number 62, Faith Doris with Scuba Steve's trash pickup game from Hayden Elementary. Bang. Gadgets and games, second place, grades 1 through 2. Project number 54, Vince Futuro with Olden Days Jr. from White Pine Elementary. get louder as it goes down, doesn't it? Starts off quite soft there. Grades 3 through 4, project number 35, Zachary Linford with Turtle Trek from Skyway Elementary. Grades 5 through 6, project number 96, Ian Hall with X Cubed from Donald Stalker Elementary. Gadgets and Games, first place, grades 1 through 2, project number 29, Joshua Kaywood with Race for the Colour from Hayden Meadows. First place, grades 3 to 4, project number 45, Logan Crawford with Gravity Race from Lake Hazel Centre.
Accepting on behalf of.
Oh, accepting on behalf of?
Yeah, and don't forget that one.
Oh, yes. Ah, you're a good man. Give me 5 anyway. Yeah, buddy. Gadgets and Games, first place, grades 5 to 6. Project number 8, Matthew Williams and Brady Hanna with their invention Into the Wild from Garwood Elementary. First place, grades 7 to 8, project number 38, Lee Duval, Looking for Alaska STEM Charter. And now, Gadgets and Games, best of category. Project number 85, Amelia Anders, Power Shoes from Mary McPherson.
Fred, I think we missed working model best of category. We'll come back to it if we can.
Nice work. And it has just been pointed out, I missed an award for this. I apologize, but you know what we're going to do? We're going to award it now. So we imagine that we just rewind time, take us back only a few minutes, and we go back to the working models best of category. So working models best of category. Project number 101, Vashili Suthran with the banana peel mush battery from White Pine Elementary. Can I have a hug? Can you forgive me? Can you forgive me? You did so well, and I'm so sorry I missed it, but I'm very, very proud to see you with the award.
Congratulations, a fantastic presentation.
Now we move to adaptions, third place, grades 1 and 2. Project number 39, Lily Still, with the invention of super strong shoe toe protectors from Mullen Trail Elementary. Grades 3 through 4, project number 48, Tyler Edis with Shovel Double, Highlands Elementary. Grades 5 through 6, project number 5, Warren Sexton and Emmett Eastman with Fishgate from Middleton Middle School. Third place, grades 7 through 8, project number 55, Alyssa Becklin with Starlight from Forest Bird Charter School. Just found out she was wrestling with her brother. Where's that brother? I got my eye on you, buddy. Yeah, I got my eye on you. We're having words afterwards. We move to adaptations, second place, grades 1 through 2, project number 63, Logan Cash with Armistice-proof socks from White Pine Elementary. Grades 3 through 4, project number 53, Logan Lamb with CEST Chores Earn Screen Time from Mullen Trail Elementary. Grades 5 through 6, project number 58, Paige Danes with Magneto Bow from White Pine Elementary. Grades 7 through 8, project number 61, Hunter Andrews with Heated Waters from STEM Charter Academy. Hunter, good work, buddy. Nice work, thanks. Adaptations, first place, grades 1 through 2. From Hayden Meadows Elementary with the Wake Up Warm Dryer, Brett Johnson. First place, grades 3 to 4 from Garwood with Green Hen House, project number 136, Cannon Parsons. Award. First place, grades 5 to 6 from Skyway Elementary with the geriatric grip stick. It is Benjamin Linford. First place, grades 7 through 8 from STEM Charter Academy, The Never Inside Out Socks by Joshua McKenna. And the best of category for adaptations, project number 73, Luke Pixton with Snowbot. Jules Verne category. This is the very futuristic one. I love this category. This is going to be great. Third place in Jules Verne, grades 1 through 2. From Sawson with Subcopter, it is Cal McDevitt. Grades 3 through 4 from Waplo Elementary, Long Locks by Sarah Horn. Sarah Hone, my apologies. Grades 5 through 6. Project number 125, Vanessa Vieli with Tooth Be Gone by Hayden Meadows. Jules Verne category, second place, grades 1 to 2. From Collister Elementary with the Disease Fighter Robot Pill, Vibidar Ananikdi. Grades 3 through 4 from Fox Hort Elementary with the volcano cover, it's Benny Lopez. who is not here. Grades 5 through 6 from Farman Elementary, The Tsunami Blaster by Brady Packer. Grades 7 through 8 from STEM Charter Academy, The Moa Portal by Josiah Shields. Who's not here? They were the second place. We now move to the Jules Verne first place, grades 1 to 2. From Collister Elementary School with the baby interpreter, it's Akashra Natija. First place, Jules Verne, grades 3 to 4. Project number 22, Kaijun Maya with the Road Dome. First place, grades 5 through 6 from Collister Elementary with Noxulus, it's Corrine Pixton. First place, grades 7 through 8 from Forest Bird Charter School, the EAT with Kylie Goodman and Jade Harrison. My accent's going to be a bit of a problem today. That was Kaylee. Did I say it right that time? Give me another 5. Yes! I might start awarding with my American accent from now on. That's actually how I have to order food at drive-thrus, because I don't get what I order otherwise. I'll have a large fries and a giant Coke, thank you. So the Jules Verne Best of Category. This is the best of category, the Jules Verne. From Collister with Sleep Ninja, it's Raya Kashuma. Let's have a photo. Your parents are down here. You did so well. Congratulations. Yes. Yeah. Are we this one here?
Yep, that one only.
So this is the Invent Idaho State Finals. High school champion from Pocatello High School with hands-on, Ryan Clayson and Xavier Hoskins. You guys did really well. Congratulations. Absolutely, congratulations. People's Choice Award. This one is the People's Choice Award, and it has been awarded to project number 20, the Kid Fridge, Gracie Kepner. We now award the Best of Show for grades 1 through 4. And the award for Best of Show, grades 1 through 4, goes to Amir Van Hill with Dewey Drone from Hayden Meadows. Present in your hands now, don't you? Amaya did such a good job. So well done. So very well done. Let's give him another round of applause. That was Best of Show, grades 1 through 4. Amaya, well done. Best of Show, grades 5 through 8 from Roosevelt Elementary with Manshon Fishing Net, Talon Bazia. Well done, congratulations.
I think, sir, you are done. Let's check. I think you're done.
That is the last one. I'm going to hand it back over to you.
Give him a huge round of applause.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We're hug.
Thank you. Do you have any that you, I think you and Blake should hit the road because it's snowing like crazy to get to the airport, or do you want to still interview?
Stay around, yeah.
Okay. And Gray will be here outside his Tomorrow Show set if you would like to have an interview with him or an autograph. Isn't he amazing? I'm ecstatic. What a great, great individual. At this time, I'd like to bring up Stacy Roush. Are you here? Stacy from the University of Idaho. Stacy has some awards to make about expo. So some of you will have callbacks, well, invitations to come back to the University of Idaho to be as part of their expo, and it is amazing. So Stacy will take care of that. She also has a scholarship that she'd like to award. And a quick reminder, I will have national invitations here momentarily. You're up. Thank you. You okay with that?
Oh, yes. Hi, parents. I will be very quick. I have 2 small children myself, and you have been sitting in here for an exceptionally long time. So you're inspiring just for that alone, but I will be quick. And I have notes. All right, my name is Stacy Roush, and I have the honor of serving my alma mater in the Office of Advancement for the College of Engineering at the University of Idaho. Part of my job, the best part of it, is I have the honor of meeting with some of the most brilliant minds that our exceptional university has helped to shape. One of the many ways that we help prepare our engineering students to go out into the world is by showcasing our U of I Engineering Senior Design capstone projects, such as robotic arms, flywheel technology, really cool stuff, at the U of I Engineering Design Expo. U of I Engineering Design Expo is recognized by the National Academy of Engineering as one of the best in the nation, which is testament to the extraordinary hard work and commitment of our students and faculty and staff. During Expo, our college welcomes hundreds of guests, including alumni, future engineers, such as yourselves, and industry partners, such as Micron, Boeing, JUB, Itron, Wagstaff, BP, INL, and Schweitzer Engineering, just to name a few. Last year was the first year that we invited select Invent Idaho young inventors to participate in Expo by featuring their projects alongside our senior capstone projects. Needless to say, their presence and participation was a huge hit. Many of our students, most of our students, and most of our alumni started out just like you, and they loved having you there. So we would like to continue this tradition by inviting the following young inventors to the 24th Annual Engineering Design Expo on April 28th. Sorry to remember that date. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the names up here. You guys can just come up and line up. Blake will give you your certificate, and we can go from there. All right, Amaya Van Hill. Okay, perfect. Luke Pixton. Taylin Biza. Amelia Anders. Vishali Shatharsan. Rhea Kashuma. Oop. Kai Hatton. And Corinne Pixton. All right, we hope to see you on April 28th. Parents of these exceptional young inventors, you'll receive a letter coming up in the next week or so with information about the event and travel stipends, because that's another part of this, is that we're going to help pay for you to come out here, because we know that you're coming from so far away. So congratulations, and it's an honor to have you participate in Expo. Nope, I'm gonna do it. Okay, I have one more thing to do, and then I'm out of here. You guys can go about. All right, last but not least, I would like to present the following $1,000 scholarship to a young inventor whose knowledge regarding the fundamentals of electrical engineering absolutely blew me away. Actually, the advanced knowledge apparent in this project impressed many of our judges, including one of our very own associate professors of chemicals and materials engineering in our College of Engineering, who said that he would hire this young inventor to assist with his research. So without further ado, Vishali Shatharsan, excuse me, now I'm tongue-tied. Would you please come back up to the stage? Vishali, as I told you earlier during your pitch, if you continue on your trajectory and you keep learning and challenging yourself, you will help change the world. Congratulations, and I look forward to seeing you here in several years in our laboratories, studying and working hard and pursuing a degree in engineering. Congratulations. Okay, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give another round of applause for the University of Idaho, a $1,000 scholarship. Can you imagine when you were in elementary school getting your first $1,000 scholarship? That is awesome. I'm glad to have them as partners. A couple of quick announcements. There will be ice cream social for everybody. It's down one layer, not down the steps, but just down towards the restrooms. And so you're all invited, and Gray will be out by his table if you would like autographs. But now I'd like to announce the 15 individuals who are going on to nationals, and there are directions in your packet about how to do this. I'd like you all to come up as they give you a round of applause, but stay here, please. I know you won't get your ice cream first, but I'd like to meet with the parents up here then as well. So if you would come up as I call you, and our first person, Rhea, you don't get to sleep. Rhea Kusuma, Sleep Ninja. Number 133, come on up. And just stay here then. Number 47, Talon Biza, Mare Sonum Fishing Net. Come on down. And just stay right here. So, yep. Number 51, Kai Hatton, Icebot. I don't believe he's here. Number 73, Luke Pixton, Snowbot. Good. And with another scholarship, number 85, Emilia Anders, Power Shoes. Nice job. Number 34, Benjamin Linford, Geriatric Script Stick. Number 101, Vishali Sutharasan, Banana Peel Mush Battery. They're going to nationals, folks. Number 83, Ryan Nichols, Wow Wow. I don't believe she's here. And our next one that is moving on to nationals, number 72, Corinne Pixton, Knox Illis. Number 131, Avery Denny with on-point balance assist. She's not here, but give her a round of applause. She qualified for nationals. Those were all funded by the STEM Action Center, and they receive a $1,000 stipend to go on to nationals. Funded by Micron, there are $500 stipends. Number 56, Allison Turk with Binderbolt. Come on up. Number 135, Addie Parsons, Poultry Angel. Number 129, Jared Wallace, No Slip Clip. Number 136, Cannon Parsons, Green Hen House. Come on up, Cannon. Number 49, Jaden Liu, Scooter Lock. And our alternate, in case someone else can't go, we want to recognize our alternate, number 44, Ethan Squeezy Handle Horn. Ethan, come on up. Ethan Fung. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to the 2017 Invent Idaho State Finals. Travel safely. Have some ice cream. There's tons of it down there. We want to see you back next year. Thank you very much. Parents, come on up. Boys and girls.